UFC fighter says that Hitler was indeed a good guy.
I really don't think that he was, because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination.
Public education indoctrination. I don't know if he was trying to rhyme something there, but if he's saying that, well, I did research, I found out Hitler was a bad guy, and I'm not making this assumption based off of what they try to force me to understand and force me to learn in school. I did this because I researched that myself, so I know I'm right. I really don't know where he got his research from. I wish I knew what research he was reading. It would be amazing to find out that Hitler was indeed like the greatest, not even the greatest, but just a good guy. And for some reason, somehow that research never got published in public, right? That would be amazing. I would love to see that research. Also, I don't know if no matter how good of a guy you are, if killing 6 million people would supersede that. I think when you kill 6 million people, you're probably no longer a good guy at that point, no matter how many times you, I don't know, fucking gave your son a chocolate bar when he asked for one. Well, let's see what other dumb shit Bryce is going to say.
I really do think before Hitler got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with.
Before he got on meth, he was a guy to go fishing with. So he was a bad guy or a good guy until he got on meth? What? Also, what the fuck do you mean going fishing with? Like, could you imagine fishing with Hitler? I could never see that. Oh, I got the fish. Let's kill this instead of the Jews. Or let's get this for practice. I don't know. Fucking hell. Like, could you imagine what type of shit he would do if he's fishing? I can't imagine him fishing.
He fought for his country. He wanted to purify it by kicking the greedy Jews out.
I don't know if kicking people out is the same as putting them in gas chambers and piles of fire and killing them in horrible ways. Maybe that's just me. Sorry, English is my second language, so I probably don't really know what I'm talking about or really understand what he's saying.
That were destroying his country and turning them all into gays. They
Wait, is that true? Were Jews turning every German into gays? Persecution of homosexuals in this is Wikipedia, right? Male homosexual acts were illegal in Germany. Okay, so it's illegal, so you probably don't have that many people, that many Jews just directly, overtly turning Germans into gays. Nazi regime carried out a campaign against male homosexuality. Okay. The encyclopedia according to the Holocaust. Let's homosexual. Let me see if Bryce is full of shit. Identifying as a gay man was never explicitly criminalized in Germany. However, the Nazi campaign against homosexuality and the regime's zealous enforcement made life in Nazi Germany dangerous for gay men. How can you say that they were turning Germans into gays and they were gayifying the entire country when the Nazi campaign was literally making it like scared to ever come out of the closet? It was already hard enough to come out of the closet back then, but imagine being at a time like this and knowing that you could literally get killed and to come out as gay. You think people would come out as gay, let alone convert other people in mass numbers into being gay? That's just this horrible, dumb statement.
They were gaying out the kids. They were queering out the women. They were queering out the dudes. They were, you know what her first tranny surgery ever was? Happened to be in Germany before.
Even if that's true, how the fuck does that mean that Jews in Germany were turning every other German person into gays in mass numbers? He says he did his own research, but he couldn't even look at basic articles about how gays were treated in Germany back then. What the fuck does he mean? What the fuck? I was going to look up something else that he said. They were queering out the woman. They were gayifying it up. All right, let's continue.
Before Hitler took over, you know the books that everybody makes fun of Hitler burning? You know what the books was? Queer books.
Is that true? What books was Hitler burning? I also didn't hear too much about books that Hitler was burning. These included the works of Sigmund Freud, Thomas Mann. So Sigmund Freud, isn't he like a really famous sociologist? Karl Marx, he's the guy who kind of pioneered socialism, right? Another book burning. So I don't know if these two men happen to be gay, but in the aftermath of the book burning, the Nazi regime raided bookstores, libraries. As soon as Soviets created a blacklist of works. Book burning works of prominent Jewish liberal leftist writers. So, yeah, I don't see anything that says explicitly gay books. Like, are these books that say, hey, you should become gay? And then, even if that's true, first of all, yeah, even if that were true, you still think that justifies all these people getting killed? What is wrong with him? He just doesn't like Jews. I just don't like how he wants to hide behind saying, well, I think Hitler was a good guy because I did my own research. When all you have to do is just say, well, I liked Hitler because I hate Jews and I didn't want Jews in the country. Just say that. Just own it.
Hitler burned queer books because Hitler didn't want a bunch of queers destroying his nation. They can't produce children. Hitler, hell and the Nazis. I really don't think that he was.
Okay, so I guess the video replayed. By the way, on his last point, I don't know if necessarily if having less children, if that equates to destroying your country. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure China implemented laws way back when to make sure that they would have less children because they thought that would actually help the country. But according to Bryce, bro, it was just everything here he said was just utter bullshit. And his friend over here, he just looks awkward as fuck for just standing next to him. He's just like, brother, I am not trying to be here listening to you. But at the same time, his friend probably needs Bryce to, to leech off of maybe. I shouldn't say leech off of. He probably needs Bryce because without Bryce, he doesn't have this podcast. So I get why he wouldn't want to say anything. His face is funny, though. It happens to me sometimes where you want to say something to somebody, but you also don't want to say it, but you can't help but to let your body can't help but to show that it's uncomfortable. Oh, we got another Hitler video.
Man,
one more time, say it.
He knew what he was doing.
One more time, say
He knew what he
it.
was
Say it
doing.
again.
I said Hitler was a great man. He knew what he was doing, okay?
You can know what you're doing. That doesn't make you a great man, though, right? If I say, hey, I know what I'm doing while I'm continuing to stab my wife, I know what I was doing, does that make me a great man? I don't even have a wife, by the way, but hopefully she doesn't ever hear me say some shit like that. Also, this is like some random guy. You're always going to find some random people saying some dumb shit. Bryce Mitchell being a UFC fighter, I mean, you would think that he might have some influence. He should have a little bit more responsibility in saying some dumb shit like that. Honestly, you hear more people dog whistling stuff than just overtly saying he was a good man. But yeah, that's Bryce Mitchell.